What's up, everyone? Kriddle here, and we just had the Campfire chat for Diablo 4, and I kind of want to talk about my issues with Diablo 4 currently, because they didn't seem to address any of the average player issues. They seem to only be focusing on the end game issues and the leveling to 100 issues and those kind of things, and that's a huge problem. In my opinion, I like to push for the end game. I have a level 100 character, but I think that we need to stop looking at, just the people that are super upset about vulnerable damage being nerfed, or, oh no, my build that is doing exponential damage that it shouldn't be doing got nerfed. Like, who cares? Those things shouldn't matter. I mean, I literally had a guy on Reddit the other day comment that he was doing 6 million damage crits and now he's doing 2 million damage crits. I mean, come on. Like, really? That's not going to make your build completely broken, because 2 million damage is going to kill something just like 6 million damage will. My sorcerer build does, hundreds of thousands of damage, and I kill things just fine. I'm doing, nightmare 50, high 50s, 60, something around there. And I'm having fun with the game and I'm enjoying it, but because they're focusing so much on all these broken builds that everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people seem to want and are screaming about, we're not getting fixes to the little things that the majority of the players are going to see, which is, in my opinion, a huge problem. One of the things that I noticed as of the patch on the 18th was that they claimed that they were going to increase the amount of XP from Tree of Whispers quest for World Tiers 3 and 4. Well, in fact, what they did is they removed the XP for World Tier 3 and 4 of the Tree of Whispers quest. You still get XP for the events and those kind of things, but you don't actually get any XP for the turn-in itself, which is a substantial part of the experience gained doing the Tree of Whispers. So why are we not getting fixes like that? There's a lot of other fixes to just the playability of characters level 1 to 50. There's a slog. It's so boring to play a barbarian from level 1 to 50. Absolutely tedious. I tried to do an upheaval barbarian, and I also tried a whirlwind barbarian, and neither one of those were nearly any fun to me. But they were the only ones that were viable to even get past about level 30 to 40, and if you want to go any higher than that. Like, it's just crazy to me that we're focusing on these crazy big builds because people are crying that they're not doing billions of damage. They're now doing, hundreds of millions of damage instead, which is the same thing. You kill something 100%, you kill something 1,000%. Dead is dead. It doesn't matter your exponential stupid numbers when you're breaking the game. So why are we focusing on that so much? Why is the community so bent on keeping those things in the game, but we're not focusing on the little things that would just make the game more fun for everyone? So that's kind of my biggest thing, my biggest takeaway from the Campfire. I feel like there's a lot of backpedaling in the Campfire. They did admit that, hey, we made a mistake. We probably shouldn't have put everything out at once. We probably should have told you about it ahead of time. We probably, should have done all of these things, and we didn't, and we're sorry. They didn't say we're sorry, but I could kind of feel it in their voice. They were sorry. And they're trying to take steps to now hopefully be better in the future, which is great. I think that's a fantastic thing. We all make mistakes, as long as we learn from those mistakes and do something better in the future, that's really what counts. But I still think we are focusing on the wrong thing. The entire Campfire chat seemed to focus on the end game from levels, 60, 70 to 100. how fast you're going to get to level 100. They were focusing on that. We're now getting changes to nightmare dungeons because supposedly nightmare dungeons are too difficult. I mean, I'm only doing nightmare dungeons up to, like I said, mid 50s, maybe 60. I'm doing those solo on my sorcerer now, which is considered to be one of the worst classes, if not the worst class in the game. I personally feel like barbarian is the worst class in the game, but some people say that sorcerer is, and I'm not going to disagree with that, but I will agree that the other three are substantially better. Rogue being way, way up at the top and seems to be getting almost no nerfs whatsoever. But then every time any other class has anything fun and makes it work and function well and play right, they're like, oh, no, we can't have that. So I'm not sure what their take is on that and why, because they didn't seem to talk about that. They only talked about getting to level 100 and how quickly they want that to happen, when we still have, millions of people that probably haven't even finished the campaign yet. I think the one of the most recent stats that I saw was like 50% of the players still haven't finished the campaign, which ends at like level 40 something, around mid 40s, and we're focusing on stuff that people are pushing to level 100. Why? Like, why do we care that much about that for the small fraction of people that actually want to push that far, rather than the much larger fraction of people that could get to 100 if they had their options, like the Tree of Whispers experience? And it's just very frustrating, and that's kind of what I wanted to make this video for, because I feel like most YouTubers and streamers and things out there are going to be talking about the end game and how to make these amazing builds, and oh, this is all the stuff they talked about in the Campfire chat and we're looking forward to, and yada yada yada. But who's gonna look out for the little guy? Who's gonna look out for the person that only has 10 or 15 hours a week at most to play the game? At most. I mean, we're talking 2 or 3 hours a night at best for those people that are getting off work. They have to pick their kids up from school. Right now it's summertime for most, but pick your kids up from school, hang out with your kids for a little bit. You got weekend plans with your family, so they're getting a few hours here and there when they have a chance, and that's all that they get of the game. They don't have the time to grind out nightmare dungeons going up to level 100, so that doesn't matter to them. Literally everything they talked about, not everything, but a lot of the stuff they talked about in today's Campfire focuses on the top, maybe 5%. I'll be very generous and say 5% of the overall player base in Diablo 4. The rest of the 95% of people who are already leaving for other games and are going to leave for other games anyway, they're not going to come back for seasonal content. The whole point of Diablo 4 is that seasonal content. And when you go into it and you make this update and it breaks the low level content, it fixes some of the high level content, but not much. It doesn't really fix it. It just kind of puts a little bit of a Band-Aid on it. And then this low level content is just like people are like, what am I doing? Why am I playing this game when you don't even care about me, who wants to level from 1 to 50, and do the new story content? And then I may want to stop. Me personally, I'm not going to stop. I'm already, over level 50 on my sorcerer. I have another sorcerer for the season, and I'm already over level 50. I'm starting to do some nightmare content. I like to push that in-game stuff, but I also understand all those people that don't push the in-game content and are going to take weeks to get to that point. They have to go through this painstaking process of leveling their character with builds that are just not fun and absolutely tedious. Just so that these other people who are mostly playing rogues, by the way, I went to several different streams, from the top streamers and things like that. And I'm seeing, I would say at least 75% of them are playing Twisting Blades Rogue. At least 75%. The ones that aren't playing Twisting Blade Rogue are playing, like a Bone Spear Necromancer. I saw one person playing a Sorcerer, one, and they were playing a Ice Shard Sorcerer, the machine gun sorcerer, which everybody thinks is like the top end build for sorcerer. It's good, I'll admit, but literally that's the only build that seems viable. There are some other builds that can do stuff, but it's just, you have the majority of players going for the top character, which is the rogue, and using the top ability they have, which is Twisting Blades. And that's what they're focusing on. That seems to be the focus of the Blizzard team, rather than, hey, why don't we make Barbarian actually fun from level 1 to 50? We're going to add 20% to your upheaval, because you get a 3% bonus and you get 10 stacks, so it's 30%. Then it goes now to 50%. That doesn't make a difference on upheaval. I'm sorry. Sure, I'm doing a little bit more damage, but I still have to swing my weapon 10 times. Oh, 1 upheaval. Oh, yay. Swing my weapon 10 times. Oh, 1 upheaval. It's just so tedious and boring. But anyway, that's my rant. I just kind of wanted to say something about it because I feel like the little guy is not getting heard or seen or whatever. It's only the top end players that are pushing in game, and the ones that are crying about doing billions of damage, and now they're doing hundreds of millions. It's come on, fix it, please.